Hey there. So this week, I'm actually talking about what happens after I do most of my baking. So only one video, lots of photos, just letting you know what's going on. So I tend to ship a lot of my cookies that I make, which makes Christopher and I both happy because we still end up with a lot of cookies in the house, but at least this way, not as many as there could be. Because I stress bake, so there's a lot of cookies in the house sometimes. But anyway, so I send them off, and people are like, well, how do you get cookies places without them all shattering? My first answer is trial and error. I've learned over time, I've been doing this for a lot of years, so you get used to it, you figure stuff out. It also depends on the kind of cookie. Some things are more breakable than others, so some things you don't want to ship. Some things need to have more padding around them. Some things that are like frosted cookies obviously need a different manner of shipping than, say, a chocolate chip cookie. The frosted ones obviously have to have things layered between them so they don't stick together. Chocolate chip cookies, not so much. So if I'm doing something like a chocolate chip cookie, which is one of the things I send most often, basically I put them on a plate and then wrap them up and put them actually in a priority mail envelope. I started doing that because as postal rates went up, this was the least expensive way to go. So I had to figure out how to get a plate of cookies in here. It's a flat pack. So you want to make sure that they don't get crushed and crumbled. So I use a basic plate. Make sure that it's a size that will fit. There are actually some dinner-sized paper plates that are too big. I don't know what size this is called, but this is the size I use. It's like 8 inches or something like that. Most brands have them, whatever. You do want a slightly lighter weight one because you're going to have to crumble or curve the edges just a little bit. But then, cookies. You'll see the photos below of the process of getting them to here. If I was just taking these to work and not shipping them, I would just have them as is. They're wrapped in plastic. They'd be good to go. But since these are being shipped, they're going to be plastic. There's going to be bubble wrap and a Ziploc bag. And if you're if you're sending this to somebody who doesn't expect them, then you also need to put in a card. They're going to end up looking like this. Cookies. The double layer of bubble wrap goes on top where the cookies are for a little bit extra protection. There's a card on top. You do have to, like I said, you have to kind of roll the sides just a little bit. But then, believe it or not, this thick a thing will actually slide into your priority mail envelope, and you can seal it. It does work. You have to be a little bit forceful with the mailing envelope, but sorry, doing this off camera because I need to actually use a little force, and so I'm leaning on the table below me. But there you go, flat pack cookies, easy peasy. So the full step-by-step is down below. Not that you probably need one, but I am going to say that this means that you now know my secret for shipping, so you can do it yourself. So if you like to bake, but you don't like having the cookies in the house, now you don't have an excuse. You need to start shipping people cookies. It makes them very happy. With that in mind, watch this space, because sometime in the next little while, once I figure out how to do it, I may offer to ship some cookies to you. Interesting idea. Anyway, please go ahead and read through the rest of the blog post if you want to see all the steps that get you from this to this. Otherwise, and you can of course find the recipe for these chocolate chip cookies. I've used it before, so I'll try to link to that. And otherwise, I'll see you in a week.